So I think we can start. So today is your second revision session for quiz one qualifier. So let me just share my screen. We are going to be discussing PYQs today. So I think it's best we discuss one of the PYQ quiz one papers. So that will be covering all concepts from first 4 weeks, right? Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's do the first question. See, first question is saying if the following pseudocode is executed using the words dataset, what will count represent at the end of execution? So words dataset, I hope everyone remembers. Paragraph words dataset. Each card contains a word, letter count, part of speech, and the ID number of that card, right? So first in the pseudocode, we can see count is a variable which is assigned the value 0 in line 1. Then we start a while loop to iterate over all of the cards. So there inside each of the while loop iterations, flag 1 variable is set to false, flag 2 is set to false. And then we read the first row in table 1. That is, we read the first card. Now there are a series of if statements. So first if statement is saying that the card you picked, you're checking if the part of speech is equal to adverb. If the card you picked is of adverb part of speech, then we are going to set flag 1 to true. Next if statement, we are checking if the letter count of that card is less than equal to 5. Less than equal to means what? At least or at most?
Most.
At most. So if the letter count is at most 5, we are going to set flag 2 to true. Third if statement is checking if flag 1 and flag 2. So when will this give true?
Both the statements are true.
Means both conditions should be right.
Flag 1 and flag 2 are containing true values, right? If both are true. In that case, it will give true. If this statement gives true, then you are going to increment count. So that means when will this statement give true? When the card you have picked is containing a word which is an adverb and which has at most 5 letter count. So basically this entire while loop when it ends, when it has gone through all of the cards, count will be storing what?
For
Count.
words which are adverbs and have at most 5 letters.
So which of these options is correct then?
Option A.
Option A, ma'am.
Option B. Okay, this question is clear, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you were saying that this one is storing at least. So how can it is storing the at least value?
This is not at least, this is at most. Right, less than equal to is at most. Means if I say less than equal to 5, that means which values are permitted. If I start from 1, then I can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right?
5 and lesser than 5. Less
Yes.
than 5. Yeah.
So that is at most. That is, it can go up to at most 5, it cannot exceed 5. Okay.
Okay.
Now, question 2 is saying the following pseudocode is executed using library dataset. So, library dataset contains what? It contains names of book, their genre, their author name, page, number of pages, all of this information. So, procedure by genre A is a procedure which returns true if the author A has written equal number of fiction and non-fiction books. Okay. So, this particular pseudocode will return true when I'm sorry, this procedure will return true when if the author A has written equal number of fiction and non-fiction books. You have to choose the correct code fragments to complete the pseudocode and assume that the dataset has only two possible genres. One second. Yeah. Okay. So this procedure is doing what? For every author, this will return true if that author has equal number of books written in each of the genre. Now there are only two genres, fiction and non-fiction. So now some code is missing here, right? So this is the starting of the procedure. It is taking some argument A. So this argument is what this is an author name, right? Author A it is given. So first count is set to 0. Then while table 1 has more rows, read the first row X in table 1. So now you are going to iterate through all of the rows. Okay. Where is this while loop ending? At which line?
At the last.
Before if
13. So 13 is the closing brace of this brace. Where is the while loop ending?
11.
9.
9.
9.
9.
9 is the closing brace. So first take care of these things, that what all statements come under the while loop, right? So only those statements will be repeated. So inside the while loop, I can see we read each of the cards and then we move them to table 2 and then there is some missing code. So this is where the condition has to be written, that we are checking whether a person or an author has written equal number of fiction and non-fiction books. Now, after all of this is done, after we come out of the while loop, we are checking if count is equal to 0. Then return true. Else will return false. So that means what is count doing? So count, if it is 0, then we are returning true. And when is the procedure returning true? When the number of books written in each genre is equal, right? So one thing we can do is, every time we see a fiction book for this author, so we'll check the genre of every book for this particular author. Every time we see fiction, we will increment count. And every time we see non-fiction, we will decrement count. So if it is equal number of increments and decrements, then count value should come to 0 at the end, right? Is the logic clear?
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Or we can do the other thing also. If we see non-fiction first, then we can do increment, and if we see fiction, we can do decrement. Basically, just increment for one genre and decrement for the other genre. Okay, so any value which is not equal to 0 means that there aren't equal books in each of the genre. Right. So now you check your options. First option is saying that the missing code here.
This
If
code, is it not returning false always? Like if you see the 13th line, it
yeah,
says
but it is but this 13th line will not be reached if I return here only, right?
okay.
Okay, so first option we are checking if x dot author is A, that is the author name matches and the genre is fiction. In that case, you increment count. Else, if author is A, decrement count. So here, is this a correct option?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
Why? Why
No,
not?
because
It
it
is not
will not
mentioning the non-fiction thing.
And it's
Okay,
correct.
let's
It's true.
let's say I pick a card, okay, from author A, which is of non-fiction genre. In that case, now if I place this code in place of the missing code, now check if author name is equal to A. Check. Genre is fiction? No. So this if statement will not execute, will come to the else part. Again, check if author name is A. Yes, count is decremented. So even if it is not checking for non-fiction, it is still decrementing for non-fiction, right? Because there are only two genres available. If it is not fiction, it has to be non-fiction. So do you think it is
Yeah.
correct or not?
Yes.
I'm correct.
So we'll not mark anything right now. Let's keep this as one of the possible answers. Let's check the others. If author name is A, where genre is fiction, you increment count, else you decrement count. So else you are not checking anything else. Is this correct?
No, ma'am.
No, this is wrong.
No, because here I can have a card from a different author altogether. Might be author B. For them also I'll be decrementing the count, right? This entire procedure has to work for one author at a time. So that's why the author name is the parameter. You are going through all the cards in the deck, but you will only choose those cards to compare where the author name is A. So that checking is mandatory. So this one is definitely false. See, this checking first, if author name is A, increment count. If genre is fiction, again increment count. Else, decrement count. Is this correct?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
For one
No.
book, it will increment twice then.
Sorry. For one fiction book written by this author, it will increment twice, and for one non-fiction book, it will increment once because of the author and decrement one. Right. Okay. Option D. It is checking if author is equal to A. This is the outer if. Okay. If this is correct, only then we're coming into the inner block. Then we are checking if
Nested.
genre is
This is
non-fiction.
correct.
Yeah, this is nested.
This is correct.
So if it is non-fiction, then we are incrementing, else we are decrementing. So this is the opposite one. Here we are checking for non-fiction. This also seems correct. So let's check if this is an MSQ. It is not mentioned, I think. Okay, no. Fragments. So we can have two options. So according to us, A and D are correct, right? Let's check. Okay, A and D are correct answer. It's clear for everyone, right? All the options.
Right, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Question 3. Following pseudocode is executed using a dataset similar to the words dataset. Again, words dataset means one card contains a word, its letter count, its part of speech, and the serial number. Based on the following paragraph. Okay, so this is dataset similar to words dataset, but it is based on this given paragraph. So here a paragraph is given now. Let's see what the pseudocode is doing. So we have 4 variables in the beginning. We have count 1, count 2, count. All 3 of them are assigned 0 in the beginning. Then flag is assigned 2. Now we have a while loop, but let's first determine where each of the braces are starting and ending. So first, this, I'll name the braces. So this is brace number 1. This first opening brace, second opening brace, third opening brace. Okay. So this third opening brace is closing here. So I'm writing 3C. This is the closing brace. Second opening brace is closing here. Is 2C. Okay, there is a fourth opening brace which is closing here. And the first opening brace is closing at the end. All the opening and closing braces are clear, right? So now we know that all the statements are inside the while loop. Okay. So what is the while loop doing? We are going through each of the cards. That is here, each card is each word from this given paragraph. Now for every card, we are incrementing count without checking any other condition. Count 1 is being incremented. Then you move it to table 2. Now if flag, that is if flag is true, then we will enter this if block. There is a nested if. This if is checking if the current card is containing the word the. If this is also true, then you will enter this nested if block and you will increment count. That means to increment this count 2, you need 2 things to be correct. That is flag has to be true and the word in the card has to be the. Then this if statement closes, then flag is set to false. Okay. Now if last if statement, if word ends with a full stop. So this if statement will only execute when you are at the end of a sentence. So if X word ends with a full stop, then flag is set to true. Now let's do this with our paragraph. Okay, now the question is asking what would be the value of count at the end of execution of the above pseudocode. Assume that uppercase and lowercase are ignored during comparison of letters. So it is not case sensitive, right? And at the end, I can see count is being calculated as this formula, count 2 by 110 divided by count 2 into 110 divided by count 1. We'll come to this later. Let's first figure out the while loop. Okay, so let's do it for the first statement. So the product which I selected yesterday had a design on the left pocket. Tanish, can you mute yourself? Yes. So first word is what? The. Okay, now let's go through the code. So first count 1 is incremented. Okay. Next, we move it to table 2. So at this point, flag is true or false. See, flag is only once initialized outside. Inside the while loop, it is just once set to false, and then at the end of every sentence, it is set to true again. So this is the first word. For that, flag is true or false?
True.
It's true.
True.
So I'll enter the nested if. Is the word the? Yes. It is not case sensitive, right? So count 2 will also be incremented. So at this point, count 1 is 1. Count 2 is also 1. Then we come out of the if block and flag is set to false. Now, will this flag be set to true? Again,
No.
before this last?
No, ma'am.
No.
No.
That means after this, only which count will be incremented for all of the words left in this sentence?
Count
Count
1.
one.
Count 1. So only count 1 will be incremented. Count 2 will be incremented again when?
When we
When
After
have
the full
it's
stop.
when we
That
have a
is
double.
when we reach the first word of the next sentence, right? Then flag is again true. So at this point, now count that what is the value? What is the value of count 1 at the end of this sentence? So how many words are in the first sentence? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So count 1 is at this point 13, count 2 is still 1. Now we are starting the second sentence. Okay, now flag is again set to 2. So
Ma'am,
here are
how is the count is still one? Because we have two the word in the first sentence. So
yeah,
how it
but
is
but
it
in
is one?
after the first word, flag is set to false, right? And then flag doesn't get set to true again until after the last word of the sentence. So you'll never be able to enter this if block again with a flag value false, right? To increment count 2, we need flag to be true.
Okay, got it, ma'am.
Okay. So next, here count 2 is again incremented, right? Now count 2 will become 2. Now in this particular sentence, how many words are there? Now, tell me one more thing that before starting the second sentence, am I going to reinitialize count 1, count 2, count any of them?
No.
no, ma'am.
No,
No.
they're
No.
outside of the while loop. Okay. So let's add to it. Count 2 becomes 2, count 1. Now, when will this flag value become true again? At the end of this sentence.
The end, yeah, at the
So
full
this
stop.
sentence has how many words? 5 words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again add 5 to count 1. So count 1 becomes what? 28. Right. Count 1 is incremented regardless. Now again flag is set to true. So what is the first uh, word of the third sentence? I. At this point flag is true. So we'll be entering
Count
the
one
if
will
block.
be 19 only.
I'm sorry. 18 here.
No,
18, right? Yeah. Now after it will be
19, it
19
will, yeah, ma'am, 19.
at the end of second sentence.
13 plus 6,
It is 5. It is 5. I'm sorry. It's 5 I've written. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 words in the second sentence, right? So 13 plus 5 is 18. Okay. See, now at the beginning of the third sentence, the first word is I. Now here, what is the flag value? Again, it is set to true. So you can enter the if statement, but now come to the nested if. Is the word the? No. So will count to be incremented?
No.
No, ma'am.
No. So count
No.
to remains 2. Again, flag is set to false, which will be set to true again after the last word. So again, count the number of words here because that has to be added to count 1. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
13.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Correct. 13. So 18 plus 13 is now giving 31 words stored in count 1. Count 2 is still 2. Okay. Now again, flag is set to true. So fourth sentence, first word is I. For this, will I increment count 2?
No, ma'am.
No,
No.
ma'am.
So count how many words in this sentence, last sentence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 words more. So count 1 will end at 44 words and count 2 is still 2. So this is the value I get at the end of the while loop when I've exhausted all the cards that are made out of this paragraph. At this point, now calculate what is the value of count. So count formula is what? Count 2 into 110. What is count 2? 2. So 2 into 110 by count 1, which is 44. So cancel it out. This is 22. Cancel by 11. So this is 5, right? So our answer should be 5. This is clear for everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
could you please brief once again the total program?
See,
Just
basically
brief.
what is happening is we have 3 counts. So mainly in the while loop, only count 1 and count 2 are being updated. Then once the while loop is over, we'll update count for which a formula is given. So count 1 will update for every card. That is, for every card that we pick, count 1 will be incremented regardless. So count 1 is nothing but total count of cards or total count of words in this particular paragraph. Count 2 is updated when only at the beginning of a sentence, that is first word in a sentence, and if that word is equal to the, only then count 2 is updated. So how many such sentences are there where the first word is the? 2 sentences. So count 2 will only be incremented 2 times. So count 2 will end at value 2. Now total number of words is stored in count 1, which is 42. Count 2 is 2. So now you have both the count 1, count 2 values. You can calculate count from here. Just put the values in the formula. Clear?
Got it.
And how we know that the count one is the total number of words?
Because the count 1 is being incremented here, right? So before this, what is the only statement available in the while loop? Read the first row X in table 1, increment count 1, move it to table 2. That means every time you read a card, you're incrementing count. So you will read all of the cards, so it has to be all the cards count.
Ma'am, how I can define that? How I can know first word will be if then I have to increment count to.
So that is what I explained in the beginning, right? That at the end of, see, once you look at the first word, this, the. At this point, when I check for this word, flag is true or false?
In code, ma'am. In code, I want to know in code where is written that if the first word is the,
No,
then
it
we
is
have
not.
to
It
increment.
won't be written. No, you have to decipher it. That's the point. I won't write it. That is way too easy. That's not pseudocode also. You have to understand the logic. That's the logic. That flag will be true only when we are at the first word of every sentence. Because see, after the first word, flag is being set to false, and then flag will keep on being set to false for every other word until I reach the last word. So if X word ends with a full stop, only then flag is reset back to true. So again, when you go for the first word of the next sentence, at that point flag is true. So flag will remain true only for the first word of every sentence. After that, flag will be set to false because of the code in line 15. This last if, you will only enter this if block if you're at the end of a sentence, right? If X word ends with a full stop. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is clear for everyone? Any other doubt? Sure, right? If you have
Madam,
any
please
doubt, you can
explain
ask.
step number 21. Madam, please explain again step number 21.
Step 21 is the easiest step. It is you have come out of the while loop, right? In line 19, while loop ends. So at this point, you have count 1 and count 2 values with you. You just put those values to calculate what is count. This is the formula for calculating count. So count 2 into 110 by count 1. That's the calculation I did here. Okay, this is the count value that has been asked by the question.
But why you have taken 2?
What I have taken 2?
Yeah, I am confused about 2. You have taken 2 into 110.
Count 2 values, I calculated it as 2, right? How is count 2 being calculated? You understood that?
Got it. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Okay, so this is NAT type question. Okay, so you only have to enter the answer. There will be no options. Okay, should we go to the next? Yeah.
Ma'am, could you please tell how to answer the first two questions? Not in this paper, but in the every CT paper, there is the first question and second question, which are for 0 marks.
No, those are nothing for you to answer. Those are just instructions, I think.
Yes, but they have options. So first one is obviously yes. It asks if I have the CT subject. But second question, there are some data sets and there are two questions regarding that, but it is for 0 marks. So is there any specific answer which we have to choose because it comes always?
What type of question is that? It is not an actual question. I mean, I think it's just yeah, you tell me what type of question is
No,
that?
in CT, the second question in my qualifier exam, it was they had given some data sets, for example.
Yeah, all the data sets are given in the beginning of the paper for you to,
Yeah, and then
go through them.
Yeah, and then they had given two statements. First was that something like these only data sets are given, and you cannot take any inference from that. And second was also so, but it was for 0 marks.
Yeah, no, you just have to pick them, right? Those don't carry any marks. Those are just for your information that you're able to see the data sets clearly. What we mean by that? I mean, the data sets are just given for your reference. That's it. You just have to give a confirmation.
Okay, so we can choose any option, right? Because it will not carry any marks.
No, I mean, I think there is only an obvious option should be there. I haven't seen the question, so I can't tell you. But if there are no marks, I think it's just for confirmation.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, any more doubt in this one?
Why they don't take the count to the between the inside the sentence?
Sorry, come again?
Why we take the from the starting of the sentence for count 2?
Because after the first word of every sentence, flag will be set to false and flag will remain false for the rest of the sentence. So we cannot enter the outside if block here in line 10 if flag is false, right? So for the other words, even if the is present, we cannot increment the count to because we can't reach that if block. Flag will only be reset to true at the end of every sentence. Here, if X word ends with full stop, then flag will be reset to true. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, fourth question. At the end of the execution of the given procedure using course dataset, what will A and B represent? So this is course dataset. So, every card contains individual student information, that is name, date of birth, city, town, marks in 3 subjects, total marks, sequence number of the card, all of this information. This is an MCQ. So A and B are initially 100. While table 1 has more cards, read the top card X from table 1. So this while loop is starting here and it is ending here. Okay. So all the steps inside will be repeated for every iteration. Now every iteration you read a card and then you check if the card that you currently picked, that is X, if the physics marks of that card is less than equal to A, then you assign that card's marks to A, physics marks to A. Next you check if the physics marks is less than equal to B and physics marks is not equal to A. Then B is being updated with the physics marks of the cards. So basically, let's understand with example. This is the first card, let's call it X1. X1 card, let's say the physics marks is 65. Okay. So initially we're starting with A100, B100. So now tell me if this is my first card. Is 65 less than equal to 100? Yes. So
Yes,
A
ma'am.
will be
Yes.
65. Next check is 65 less than equal to 100. B is also 100 for first iteration. That is true. But X dot physics is not equal to A. Is this statement true?
No, ma'am.
No,
No.
ma'am.
B won't be updated. Okay. Let's take next card. So here, let's say it is 75 physics marks. So currently A is 65, B is still 100. So next iteration you will check is 75 less than equal to current A, which is 65. This is wrong. So A won't be updated. Next statement is 75 less than equal to current B.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Is 75 not equal to A?
That's true, ma'am.
75 is also not equal to 65. So both are true. That means now B will be set to what? 75.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So A is now 65, B is now 75. Now let's take one more card. X3. Let's say the physics marks here is 55. Now again check. Is physics marks, that is 55, less than equal to current A, which is 65? Yes. So A
Yes.
is now what? 55. Now come to second A. Is 55 less than equal to current B, which is 75?
Yes.
And is 55 not equal to A? No. 55 is equal to A because A has been assigned 55. So I won't update B. B remains 75. Now I'll take one last card and you'll understand the trick here. So X4, let's say the physics marks here is 85. If I take 85. Now tell me, for A, first comparison, A is 65, A is 55 at this point. So is 85 less than equal to 55?
No.
No. A won't be updated, A remains 55. Is 85 less than equal to B, which is 75? No.
No.
Okay, so nothing is updated for a greater value. Okay. Now if I take a fifth card where physics marks is 45. Now, first if statement, A will be what? A is 55. Is 45 less than equal to 55?
Yes.
Yes. A is updated. Second if statement, physics is that is
Physics
45
45
less than equal to 75.
is equal to. Yes, ma'am.
This is true. But is 45 not equal to A?
No, ma'am.
Is equal to
So
yes.
B is not updated. So when is B getting updated?
Only in
For
the
the
first
greater
case,
value.
the B has been updated, but after that, there is no possibility of B is getting updated, ma'am.
Okay.
Only in the first
Check
itself,
this.
it will take one card.
Fine, let's
No,
check
ma'am.
this. If I take 50, A is 45. Is 50 less than equal to 45? No. A remains 45.
No.
Is 50 less than equal to 75? Yes. Is 50 not equal to 45? Yes. So B is getting updated to 50. Can you catch now what is happening?
Yes,
Ma'am, it
ma'am. B
is
is storing second
increasing
minimum.
for second maximum marks.
And A
Second
is
maximum.
So
minimum.
these, so now you check which of these is the correct option.
Okay. Okay.
D option.
D seems to be correct, right? A is the minimum mark, B is the second minimum. So D is the correct answer. Is it clear to you? So that's why I took
Yes,
all
ma'am.
kinds of examples so that if you can see that if you go higher than the minimum, current minimum, it won't change much if it already has two smaller marks, right? Because then A and B will remain those two marks. Only time it changes is if you have a marks that is, let's say, greater than A but less than B. In that case, B will change. Right. Or if you find a mark which is less than both A and B, in that case, A will change. So if you find a new minimum or a new second minimum, then only A and B are changing. Okay. So A is storing the minimum physics mark, B is storing the second minimum physics mark. In this type of questions, it is better to that you also take examples in the exam.
Ma'am, in the exam, it's quite difficult to take like so many different values, and when we are
You
doing
won't
it,
have to take so many values. This is I did just to make you understand. If you do with only two values or three values at max, then also you'll understand. I
Ma'am,
mean,
when
see
we
here, just by looking at the code, you can tell that update is happening when marks is less than equal to. So obviously, a higher mark won't update A, right? That much is clear to us. Same for
yes,
B.
ma'am.
Only for less than equal to B, I will update, and that marks has to be not equal to A. So
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
your clue. So always look for lower marks for the update. Don't go for 85, 95 like
So
this.
because it is
But
less than equal to and not equal to A, so we would think that it is something minimum and it
it is
is
something on
less.
the smaller side. That is, it has to be great. It could be greater than A, right? It has to be greater than A. That's why A was not set to this particular marks.
Yes,
So it
ma'am.
is definitely greater than A, but it is lesser than the current B. So that
Yes, ma'am.
means
We
it
can.
has to be the second minimum.
Yes, ma'am. We can guess looking at it.
Still, you can take 2, 3 cards, for example, if you want to confirm. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Question 5, following pseudocode is executed on library dataset. What is the value of found after the pseudocode below is executed? So initially count is 0. Now here we have a separate procedure called verify pair. We'll see where this comes. So this is on the library dataset. So in the while loop is, let's first check all the braces. So there is a nested while here. First opening brace, second opening brace, third opening brace. third brace is closing here, second brace is closing here, first brace is closing here. Okay. So first in the outer while loop, once we enter it, we will read the first row, move it to table 2. Now enter the second while loop. Now read the next row. Right. So currently we have now two cards X and Y. The first two cards we have. If verify paired XY. So now this is the function call or the procedure call. So your control will shift to the definition of the procedure verify pair. So verify pair takes two cards, a pair of cards X and Y. It checks what? If X's genre, that is the genre of the book in X card, is same as Y's genre, and the language of X is not equal to the language of Y. If these two conditions are met, then you return true, else you return false. So verify pair will return true when, for a pair of cards, when they belong from the same genre but are written in different languages. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So when it is returning
Shall we
true,
see the options?
let's complete the card this once. So when it returns true, then count is incremented. Okay. Now see here, once you come out of the, if at this point you move Y to table 3, right? And this is what? One iteration of the inner while loop. So for every outer while loop iteration, inner while loop will go through all of the cards, right? If there are 30 cards in my deck, outer while loop first takes one card, then I enter the inner while loop. Now inner while loop will run how many times? As many cards as there are left in the deck, that is 29 cards.
29.
Right. And all of the 29 cards are moved to which table? Table 3. Right. So once the inner while iteration is over for a particular outer while iteration, then all the rows are moved back from table 3 to table 1. Okay. Because now you're going to do what? You're going to pick the second card. So remember one thing, the cards which I am shifting to table 2 are not recovered because we don't want duplicate iterations, right? So if I picked card with serial number 1 in the first outer while iteration, so this is now gone to table 2. For this particular card, we have done 29 comparisons, and all these cards are now in table 3, right? All these cards are in table 3. So now in the next
Yes,
outer while iteration, I will pick card with serial number 2. So one card is removed from the deck, which has gone to table 2. So how many cards are remaining in the deck now?
28.
28 cards. Okay. This is serial number 2, not 2 cards, serial number 2. Okay. So like this, we will iterate how many times in the outer while loop? All 30 times, right? We will pick one card, one card, one card like this. And every time the card is moved to table 2. And all the remaining cards are there. The comparison is happening in the inner whiles. This is the way it is working. So now it has been asked what is count after the execution. So count is what? From here you can tell. You don't need the options to tell it. First tell me, what do you think? What is count?
It's the same
The
job.
number of pair of books
Card with same
same
genre
genre
but different language.
It is number of pairs, right? Number of pairs of books
of pair.
which contain same genre but are written in
Same
different
genre but different language.
language. So now see the options. Which one is true?
The number of book pairs that have different.
C.
C. Option C.
C.
A is not
C,
correct.
madam. C. C.
Same genre language. C is correct. Number of book pairs that have same genre but are written in
Same genre but in different languages.
C is correct. This is clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. This is also MCQ. This is also on the words data set. Consider procedure V count is a procedure which returns the number of vowels, and C count returns the number of consonants. So we haven't given the definition of these two procedures, but we are telling you what they return. So if I pass a particular word in V count, it will give me the number of vowels in the word, and C count will give the number of consonants in the word. So initially count is 0, Q is set to false. Now, while table 1 has more rows, read the first row. Again, let's number our braces. So 3 opening braces. This is the closing brace of 3. Again, 4th opening brace. This is the closing brace. 5th opening brace. This is closing brace. second closing brace, first closing brace. So all of this falls under the outer while, and there is an inner while also. Inside the inner while, there is the if statement. Okay. Now, what is happening here? So in the outer while, we are going through one card at a time, right? Read the first row X in table 1 and move it to table 2. So we read one card, then we go to the inner while. Now, as long as table 1 has more rows. So now we have nested while, that means comparison is happening. So now we pick two cards at a time, right? X here, Y here. Once you read Y, you move it to table 3. Same as the last question. Now you check, you have two cards. Now you check if the V count of X is exactly equal to V count of Y. That is, both the words in these two cards have exact same vowel count. If that is true, then Q is set to true. Okay, Q was initially false. Next, you check if the C count is different. Then Q is set to false again. After these two if statements, you check if Q. So this will give true when Q is true. So if Q is true, then count is incremented. So when will count be incremented? For which pairs?
The pairs which has same vowel count but different consonant count.
Different
No,
vowel
ma'am.
will set
Same
Q to
vowel
false.
count and same consonant count.
Same vowel count, same consonant count. So can I also say that these two words have the exact same letter count? If a pair of cards have same vowel count and same consonant count, can I say they have the same letter count?
Yes, ma'am, we can say.
Right.
Depends.
Okay. Now see the option. So what will count represent?
Option number C, ma'am.
Number of pairs of words having an equal number of vowels and consonants. Anyone disagrees or is everyone agreeing? Okay. Let's see. C is the answer. Okay, this is very simple. You don't have to spend much time. I think this question, if you have practiced enough, should take you around 2 minutes to solve. Okay, now question
Ma'am,
7.
1 second, will you go again on the question? Ma'am, here in vowel count check, there is Q will increment to true. And in consonant, if there is not, if
If
there is
consonants are different consonant counts are there in both the
yeah,
words,
ma'am.
then Q
If
will
it
be
is
set
not
to false.
equal, then Q is equal to false. So
Right.
then what we have to check here, if Q, it will depend na Q equal to false or true.
If Q, that means when can I enter this if block? If Q is true. This type of statement means what? If there is only one single variable, means it depends on the Boolean value of that variable. So at that point, if Q is storing a true value, only then I can increment count. If Q is storing false value, I can't enter this if block and increment the count.
So ma'am, when both the if blocks will increment to true, then we'll go ahead.
No. See,
So
only the first if block can set value of Q to true. Second if block, if it is correct, then Q will be set to false. So that means when the second if block condition will be wrong, only then Q will remain true. If the first if block condition is correct, that is we have equal number of vowels, then Q is set to true, right? Then we see if the consonant count is equal, that means the second if condition is now false. We cannot enter it. So Q will remain true. Now you come to the third if Q. So now Q value is true. So you can increment the count. But if the second if condition is also true, then Q will be set to false. Then if Q will be false, you cannot increment count.
okay, okay, ma'am.
Okay. 1 second. And I just want to check one thing. Just give me a minute. Okay, now I have a question in this that see, Q is only reinitialized to false over here. Okay, now let's say I have the first word I encountered is soon. Okay, so here what will be the Q value at the end? I mean, count will be incremented or not? If this is my word, what is the, okay, we have to compare, right? Let's say these two words. What will be
Both
the
have
Q
the
value?
vowel sounds, vowel count.
Both have same vowel count, both have same consonant count. So Q value will be true. Count will be incremented, right? Now, if I have this word and in the next iteration, the second word changes. Okay, let's say it is, mm, let's say it is this. Now, now tell me, here Q is true. Okay. So at this point, when I go for the next iteration, then this vowel count, is it equal?
No.
No.
No. But Q is still remaining true, right?
Yes.
Now check in the next step, consonant count, is it equal?
No.
No, there also it's not. Yeah, it's correct,
It's
ma'am.
true.
It is
Consonants
equal.
count is true.
Two consonant here, two consonant here. So if consonant counts are equal, that means this if statement is false.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
So Q will not be updated to false. Q remains true. So that is also getting counted, no?
Oh. Madam, in the second case of Q is equal to false, C count is equal to C count, madam. Actually, the consonant sound count and the consonant count on the map is one and the same. Then the Q will become, okay, how Q will become false, ma'am?
Q will remain true. That's what I'm saying. Q remains true. So that these two pairs are also being counted in count, which should not happen. Right. I think there is some mistake here.
Yeah, but even the condition also not satisfying in the above if clause. If C count X is not equal to C count Y, but here
None
the
of
C count
none
is
of the if conditions are satisfying. That's why what was the previous Q value that is still persisting. From the previous iteration, Q value was true. Now in this iteration, none of the if statements work. So Q was never updated. Q remained true. But the third if statement will be working regardless, right? Because it is just checking the Boolean value. So these two pairs are also being counted.
So it should be reinitialized to false again after one iteration of inner loop, no?
Yeah, it should be reinitialized to false. So after this last Q, if Q statement, I think there should be a Q set to false statement. Otherwise, the checking is not happening correctly. So this question will mark it as a wrong question for now. Okay, I think it was, this is a PYQ. So I think if there was a mistake, we might have given marks to everyone for this. Because this is clearly a mistake. These two were also being counted. Okay. So also keep your eyes open for this type of things. Okay, here this was a mistake, but I could have easily added an option, right? I could have changed the option. So you have to catch these things also. Okay, now see this one. Following pseudocode is executed using scores dataset. A is 0, B is 0 initially. Now, while table 1 has more rows, so we go through all the cards one by one. Flag is set to false for every iteration. Right, this is reinitialization of flag for every iteration. Now next in the if statement, we're checking if the card we pick, the gender is female and the total marks is greater than 250. Right. If both these conditions are correct, then flag will be reset to true. Next if statement is checking if not flag. When will not flag give true? When flag is
False.
False.
false. Correct. So if flag is false, in that case, this if statement will return true and we can enter the if block. If we can enter, then we will increment A and we'll again check if X dot total is greater than 250, then we will increment B. Okay. So let's take a card where it is called this FX1. It is a female's card. Let's say the total is 275. So in that case, initially flag is false. Gender is X. Yes. X total is greater than 250. Yes. So flag is now true.
true.
Can I enter the if block?
No need.
No. Okay.
No, ma'am.
At this point, A and B are both not incremented, right? This is the first iteration I'm talking about. Next, let's have one more card X2. So this is from male candidate, and let's say they have scored 280. So now flag is again set to false in the next iteration. Every iteration flag will start with false. Now check the if statement. Gender is equal to F? No. So flag will remain false. Okay. Now can I enter the second if?
No,
Here
ma'am.
we can enter.
Yes, we can. Because flag is
Yes,
false.
ma'am.
So not
Yeah,
of
flag
false.
is false.
Not,
Here we can enter.
yes, not of false. False is true. So now A is incremented. A is now 1. Is X dot total greater than 250? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So B is also incremented. Okay. Now let's take a third card where the gender is male but the marks is 240. Now again flag is starting with false. This if statement will give true or false? False, because it is male card.
1 second.
So flag will remain false. Right? Flag remains false. Now can I enter the second if? Yes, because flag is false, not of false is true. A will be incremented, A becomes true. Is the total greater than 250?
No.
No, ma'am.
So B won't be incremented. So now you tell me, what is A representing?
Number of male student.
Are you sure? Let's
No.
take one more
Male
card.
and female.
No, ma'am. Option number A.
The number of students who have scored less than 250.
A
And
represents
No,
number
no.
of male students and number of female students whose total marks at most 250.
Ma'am,
Okay,
could you
let's
please
test
take
it.
2 more examples?
Yeah, let's test it. So let's take a female's card who has scored 245. Now flag is set to false again for this iteration. So gender is female, yes. X dot total is greater than 250, yes, no. So
No.
flag is remaining false. Again, I can enter the next if statement. And A is incremented to 3.
3.
Right. Total is greater than 250, no. So B is still 1. That means A is counting all such people, regardless of their gender, who have scored a total less than 250
250.
or equal to 250. Right. Less than or equal to. That the condition is greater than. So the opposite is what? Less than equal to. That is all students who have scored less than equal to 50, that means at most 50, are being counted in A. In B, who are
Both the
being?
genders.
Yes, both genders. I just showed you with this
Both
card
genders.
that here X3 and X4. One is a male card, one is a female card who have both scored below 250. So both of them, A was incremented. Right?
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
first if statement is not working. Once because of the gender, once because of the total. So
Ma'am,
regardless
A
of
will get
gender,
incremented even if male marks are over 250.
male marks are over 250. Then also
Yes.
A will get incremented.
A gets incremented. Yeah.
Right, that we can see from this card, that male and 280. Still A got incremented. Because here the flag is not set to true. That's the main point, that if flag is not set to true. That can happen due to two reasons. One is the gender is male, one is the total is less than 250. Right, less than equal to 250. So that means A is storing which student? Now look carefully at the options. First option is saying A represents number of male and female students whose total marks are at most 250.
true, ma'am.
No,
It can
it
also
should
exceed
be
250.
all
Mostly less
males.
than.
So it can also exceed 250, right? So you
Yes,
cannot say
Yes,
for
Yes,
sure.
ma'am.
Only females is
Second,
less than 250.
yeah,
Males is all males.
right. Males is all males. For every male, the A will be incremented, and for females, they will be incremented when the total is less than, less than equal to 250. Okay, so first option is not correct. B represent number of male students whose total marks are greater than 250. Is this
No.
correct?
This is correct.
This is correct,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. This is
This is
correct.
this is correct, because see, if it is a female whose marks is less than 250, that is like this card X4, for them A is getting incremented, but B won't be incremented, right? B is incremented for only X2, which is a male, but scored greater than 250. That means this condition was broken, the gender condition was broken, but the marks is fine. It is greater than 250. So B is representing all male students whose total is greater than 250. It's correct. Third is saying B represents number of students whose total is greater than 250. No, only males. B in line 8, if we remove not from if condition, this not if I remove, then A will represent the number of male students and number of female students whose total marks are greater than 250. Is this correct?
No,
The flag
no.
is true.
If
Yes,
I
because it will have the
Yeah, if we
same
make it
rule
true, that is
as
correct,
the
ma'am.
first one.
Okay, let's check once. If I remove the not, then it just becomes flag. That means we can enter the if block if flag is true. Okay, so for every
Yes.
iteration, flag is initially false, right? So if I have this x2 card, for this flag was false, then gender was male, so this first if statement also didn't work. So flag is still false. So now if flag will give true or false? It will give false. So can I count it in A? Will I be able to increment A?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
The marks is greater than 280. So B is correct. A here is given as correct option, but A is not correct. We saw why. Because A represents
Ma'am, is
total.
correct.
A is correct, you're saying. Okay, let's check A again. A represents number of male students and number of female students whose total marks are at most 250. So what did I say? Why is A not correct?
You get a male student with more than 250 marks, it still
Yes.
gets increment.
So male and female students whose total marks are at most 250. That means it cannot exceed 250. But take this X2 card, for example. Here, the if condition is broken because of the gender, right? So flag is not set to true. Flag remains false. And then not of flag, that is not of false, is true. So A is incrementing for a student whose marks is greater than 280. So that invalidates our option A.
And maybe in
So
the
here,
data set, there isn't a male with more than 250 marks.
no, in this
That
type of
is why.
questions, we won't rely on you to remember what is in the data set. Okay. You just do whatever is given here. Okay. Whatever is in the data set, that is not possible for anyone to remember. This is a mistake. A cannot be correct. Okay. Because we already have a proof that for this option, A doesn't work. Even if you have one such instance that for which it doesn't work, then the entire option is wrong. Right? At most 250 is not correct. So here only B is the correct option. This should be removed. Is this clear for everyone?
Yes.
Excuse
All
me,
of the
ma'am.
options. Yeah.
Ma'am, in the
If it
eighth
has
line,
given,
if
if it
we
has given
remove
at
not
least the
from the
option may
eighth
be
line,
correct, ma'am.
Wait, one by one. What are you saying? Who was
If it has
speaking
given
before
at
that?
least,
ma'am, if we
Yeah.
remove not from the eighth line,
Hmm.
in that case, both A and B, both of the variables would represent the number of female students who has scored more than 250 marks, right?
Why only female?
Because the flag will return true only if the gender is female and the total is
Correct.
greater than 250.
So if it is a male, then flag will never become true, right? And without flag being true, then we cannot execute the second if. So
So
then it becomes all about female students. A will
both
represent female,
variables represent the same count, right?
same count. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
in the option A, if it is given at least instead of at most, is the option is correct, madam, at that time, I think.
If it is at least.
Total marks at least.
At least means less than 250 is also fine, right? So for a female card, if it is less than 250, like for this X4 card, it is female but less than 250. So if not, if here now flag will remain false, right? Because this if statement is not working. Not of false is true. A is incremented. Fine. Then again for this male card, if I check, yeah, here only you can
Yeah,
say
it's
no
coming, ma'am.
that it is wrong. Because for 245, we are saying at least, right? At least means what? 250 and above.
250 and above.
So that is not working for this female card who has for 245 also A is counting. right?
Yes, ma'am.
At least won't work. This statement is wrong. We cannot club these together. A is a different count. A is counting all students, right? Regardless of their gender, male or female. What is the condition? So what is A basically? In this question, if you forget about the options, what is A?
A is
A will
counting all males and females less than 250, less than or equal to 250.
A is counting all males. Okay. All males, regardless of what their marks is. Because the flag will be false here. Because the gender condition is broken. But A is also counting those females for whom the marks is less than or equal to 250. So the correct option here will be A will represent the number of all male students plus the number of female students who scored less than equal to 250. That's the correct option.
Ma'am, can you scroll little up so that I can see the options clearly?
Yes. Okay. So here in this particular question, only B is correct. Okay. Let's try this one.
Yes, correct.
Hello?
Yes, A is correct. The seventh question.
A is not correct. None of the options other than B is correct.
Why, ma'am?
I just explained the whole thing. Okay, if you were not present, please come back to this video recording and see it again. This particular case is not correct because A is counting all male students regardless of their marks, since flag will be false. And A is also counting those female students whose marks is less than equal to 250 because this condition will be broken and flag will become false for them. So it's the summation of these two counts. Okay, and C and D are definitely not correct. So question 8 is saying pseudocode is executed using shopping bills dataset. At the end of execution, A captures the lowest price of an item purchased from Big Bazaar, but the pseudocode may have mistakes in one or more lines. Okay, so our goal is that at the end of execution, A should capture the lowest price of an item purchased from Big Bazaar. So let's see if this is an MSQ. Okay. So we have to find which options are correct regarding the errors. So we need to find lowest cost. That means we need to find minimum. Right. Let's check. A is 0. Initially, A is 0. Then, while file 1 has more cards, read the top card in file 1. So this is the shopping bills data set. Now we have picked a card. We are checking what is the shop name of that card. If the shop name is Big Bazaar, so we are only interested in Big Bazaar items, right? Item purchased from Big Bazaar at the lowest price. Okay. So we want to capture that price. So if shop name is Big Bazaar, then in temp variable, I am calling the procedure find item and passing this current card as parameter. Now your control shifts to here. In find item, what do? We take a card as parameter. Now we have another variable called min price, which is set to 0. First mistake here, you can spot.
Yes, it should be some large value.
It should be a value. When we are trying to find
Maximum
minimum,
value.
we have a value which is maximum, correct? Which is
Maximum.
outside of the scope. Okay, so we'll start with that. So this is the first mistake, line 14. Now still let's see the execution if they have taken 0. So while card Y has more items, so now we are going through the item list of this particular card. We read each of the items and we check if min price is greater than equal to Z dot price. That means here if I have 0, 0 will not be greater than equal to price of any item, right? No item will cost 0 or less than 0. So that means this line will never execute if we start with 0. If we start with, let's say, 101, that's a good option. So there will be prices which are less than this. Okay, or if we start with some even bigger price, we can have some max price. Then here, now tell me if I change the price here to some big max value, then is this line correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
That means if we find a lower
Yes.
price, then we are updating that. Okay, but is the equal to necessary?
It's not necessary.
No, it's
No,
not.
ma'am.
Already we
We
have
only want
taken greater
lower.
than. Yes.
Okay, but what happens if min price currently contains, let's say, 10? Okay, and that is the minimum price of the data set.
So we don't
Now,
need to say that. Right?
in the next item, if the price is also 10, right, then min price less than price of this item, that is 10 less than 10, will be false and we won't update. So even if I keep it, is it wrong?
No, ma'am.
No.
It is not
Correct.
wrong, right? It is not technically wrong.
Yeah.
I can keep it. So after I have checked it for every item, it is removed from the item list of card Y and min price is returned. So is the min price procedure correct?
Yes, ma'am.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
Line
This is
14, except line 14 is correct.
So here can I say that this is definitely one option, incorrect initialization of min price. Okay. Line 17, incorrect conditional statement. Is this correct?
yes, ma'am.
Is the
Yes.
conditional statement incorrect?
I think
Statement
it
is
is
correct.
not incorrect, ma'am.
Statement is correct. With
It is
respect to
technically
zero,
correct.
it is incorrect.
Yeah, with respect to 0, it is incorrect, but I'm not asking with respect to any other line. Just the line by itself. If it was the correct procedure, it is a correct line.
I mean the format of the line.
Yeah.
It is correct.
No, I mean that if I am trying to find minimum, then I need this condition, right? If min price is supposed to capture the lowest price, then this is the line I should have. Okay, now this particular procedure will give me the minimum price item. That is minimum price of any item in a particular card from Big Bazaar. Now that price is returned back to temp. Here now I am checking if temp is greater than A, then A is equal to temp. So should this be greater than, we are trying to capture the minimum price.
Should be less than.
Ma'am, incorrect initialization of A
Yes,
is
ma'am.
also correct, right?
Incorrect initialization of A. So if I started A with some huge value, then wait.
Then
I
we can
started
able to record the minimum value of the item.
no. Then also if I started A with some huge value, then obviously this will never update. Because temp will contain an actual value of an item, right? The least cost of an item, which will never be greater than that value, that max value that I'm taking. So the update will never happen. A initialization is fine, but here what is wrong? Let's see one. Here do we have incorrect initial? No, you're right. I need to change A to some max value, right? But here this line has to be then changed to less than. Then it is correct. Both have to be changed. Line 6 is also wrong, line 1 is also wrong. First, A has to start with some big value because again we are finding the minimum. So it has to start with a maximum value. And every time we find a value which is lesser, that is a lesser priced item from Big Bazaar, then we'll update A with that item's price. So which three lines did we see are wrong?
1, 6, 17.
1, 6, 14, not 17. 17 is correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So 1, 6, 14. What are the options given? 1, 6, 14, 17. So first three options. So A, B, C are correct. This one is a correct conditional statement. See, if I fix the mean price value, then this is correct. Every time I find a lesser or equal to value, then I will update mean price like that.
Ma'am, please explain line 20.
Line 20 is just removing that item from the current card's item list because we have already checked for that item, right? For every Z, once you have compared the price, you can remove it from the item list. So you don't check it again. Right?
Oh, okay.
Ma'am, can you please explain the line 6 again?
Here, see, A initialization is wrong, right? If I'm trying to capture minimum, I cannot start with 0 value. I have to start with a bigger value with which I can compare the smaller values, right? To update. So if I put A into some max value like this, I put 1000, it can be any max value. which is outside of the scope of any item price. Okay. In that case, if I have, let's say, 8,000, in that case, here the line is temp greater than A. So will any item have a price which is greater than this max value?
No, ma'am.
No update will happen. So this sign has to be changed to less than, because we are trying to find minimum. Every time we find a lesser value, we will update A to that value. Clear?
Clear, ma'am.
Ma'am, in this
Yeah.
one, the procedure does not give us the final value, right? We are going card by card to the entire iteration
A
from
will
1 to
capture.
23.
A will capture. The procedure is just finding the minimum price for that card, minimum price item for that particular card, this procedure. Okay.
My misunderstanding was the moment the control shift to procedure, it goes through all the cards and gives us
No,
the
no, no, no,
final
no.
minimum value.
It will just execute once for the card that you have passed here in line 5. Okay. And then once it has evaluated for that card, the mean price comes back to line 5 here.
Okay.
Then
Here
again continue.
it doesn't act like a inner loop or
No,
nested.
no. It will just execute one. Okay. For one function call, it executes one. Then again in the next iteration, you will call it again if you find a big bazaar card.
Okay. That is why we are having 6 and 7
Right.
lines there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Who has raised their hand? You have a question?
Hi, ma'am. Ma'am, which term PYQ we are doing?
This is this year's January term.
January, okay, January 2025.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I have one doubt in this January term paper. Can I ask?
Mhm. Yeah, you can ask. Am I audible?
Yeah, sorry, ma'am, I muted. Ma'am, question number 7. Can you do question number 7?
7, this one only I said, no, the first option is wrong. This is not a correct option.
First option is
Here
wrong.
only option B is correct here.
They represent the male student whose total marks are greater than 250. Ma'am, can you just quickly, or you already explained this question, ma'am?
Yeah, I have explained, but I'll tell you why this first option is
Yes.
wrong. It's because,
ma'am.
see, here, it is said that number of male students and number of female students whose total marks are at most 250, right? So here, what it does is for every male student, it will capture, regardless of whether the marks is at most 250 or not. Okay, so we took one card where male and 280 marks. So for that, the first if condition will not work. So flag will remain false as it was initialized. Now the second if, when I come to it, if not of false will give true. So I will be able to enter the if block and increment A. So it is capturing those males also whose marks are greater than 250. Understood? So at most is the wrong thing here.
Ma'am,
What this, sorry?
Option A is right because it states represent a male number of male students and number of female students scored at most 250 marks.
Okay, they are saying like this, that it is number of male students, that is all male students, and number of female students whose marks are at most 250. Then this is very
Yes.
ambiguous. Then this is not a correct wording of this sentence. We should write that it is summation of all male students and number of female students whose marks are at most 250. I think there was some ambiguity in this question in that term also. Okay, the language is not correct, but if it is written in that way, then this is the partition, that all male students and number of female students whose marks are at most 250.
So, ma'am, you are saying B is correct. Ma'am, can you, so B is.
Yeah, like wording wise, the B option is correct. And A is correct if it is written in this way, that this is separate and this is separate. Both are not subject to this at most 250 thing.
Ma'am, you are saying B is the number of male students whose total marks are greater than
Yeah,
250.
B is definitely correct. Yeah. B is representing number of male students whose marks are greater than 250. Because for female students, obviously, this only we enter the if block if their marks is less than 250 or equal to 250. Right. So that
Ma'am,
is
you
not captured in
I
A.
have a doubt. Ma'am, in B, it is saying number of male students. So it doesn't matter. It is number of male students. It should be number of students because
No,
first,
for females, they won't be calculated in B.
ma'am, why?
When are you able to enter this if for a female student? When their
I
marks
enter when
is
flag
less
is
than
false.
equal to, yeah, when flag is false. When will that be true for a female student? This condition is true. For flag to remain false, this condition has to be wrong. That means their marks has to be less than equal to 250.
So,
Understood?
ma'am, I have one question. Ma'am, can this, let's say we have female students and total marks is less than 250.
Let's take this card for example, 245.
Yes.
Okay.
Acha, then it will not include this. Uh, okay, if there is a female which is greater than 250, automatically it will go to the first if block.
Yeah.
If that's case, if that card
Yes.
come from, okay, I got it. So
Then
if
it
there is
is
a,
true. Then not of true is false. So the second if will not execute.
okay, I got it. Ma'am, what I actually consider key, it is not like card is not going in a first if block.
No, no. Of course,
But
we
there is
will
a condition.
always check line by line, right? If the first if
Yes.
block executes, then flag will execute. Flag will
Yes,
become true.
I got it. I got it. Because if it is a female student and it's automatically let's say 251, then it will go to first block also and second block also, right?
But second
And then
block
it,
will not execute because flag is true and not of flag is not of true
yeah,
is false.
second will not execute because flag become true because the first.
So it is not being calculated in any of these A or B.
Yes, ma'am. And when the total marks is less than for this example 245, it will doesn't it not go to the first and it go in the second, but it not go in the not
Yeah, it
counting
will increment just A and
A.
not B.
Okay, ma'am. I have one more question in the May term, question number 13. Ma'am, can you take that also?
Okay, just wait a minute. Let me finish this paper, then I'll take your doubt. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, let's come to question 9. This is clear, right, everyone?
Yes, ma'am. It's clear.
Okay. So this one is from your week 1. Match the following expressions in column 1 with appropriate expressions and values in column 2. So first is 2 equals to or 2 greater than 2. Which one is it matching with?
False.
Invalid.
Invalid.
It's false.
Invalid
It's
expression.
invalid.
So we cannot compare 2 equals to, right? This is a condition. This is an assignment operator. So
Yes.
this is not correct. So A1, that is definite. Now B, 2 equals to 2 and 2 greater than 3. What will this give?
False.
False.
2 equals 3. Again?
False.
Valid.
Invalid.
Invalid.
Yeah.
You cannot assign like this, right? 2 plus string 2.
String 2. Yeah,
Valid.
false, ma'am.
It's all invalid.
Invalid.
It's invalid.
Invalid.
So
It's all.
you're saying D is 1, right? 2 is greater than equal to 2.
5.
True.
False.
True.
Yeah, this is true.
True, ma'am.
True, ma'am.
This is
Because
true,
the
ma'am.
equal condition is there.
Ma'am, for
Again, check
D,
clearly, is it true?
ma'am, for D, shouldn't it be 5? Like 2 plus string 2?
No, you cannot add like this. Okay, if it's both of them are strings, then you can do this concatenation. Okay, one is a number, one is a string, then it doesn't work. So which of these options you're saying?
A1,
You're saying A1, B, what is
Option
B?
B4.
3, B3, this one, right? False.
Yeah.
Okay, C1, D1, E2 you're saying, right?
E2.
Is there any such option? Check.
Option B.
B option.
They are saying B. So B is the correct one. Okay, so greater than equal to is the comparison operator. If it's a single equal to, then it's an assignment, and double equal to is comparison. But greater than equal to is also comparison. Okay. This following pseudocode is executed using words dataset. At the end of execution, A is set to true if there exists a pair of words with same part of speech and same letter count. Choose the correct code fragment to complete the pseudocode. So A is capturing what? A will, at the end of execution, A should be set to true. A is a variable, Boolean variable. It should be set to true if there exists such a pair of words with same part of speech and same letter count. So this is very simple. We are running two while loops which are nested because we need to pick two cards in one iteration, right? For one outer while iteration, there will be a number of inner while iterations as long as table one becomes empty. So what should be stored here? So this part of this type of code we have done a lot of times today, how to execute nested whiles. So here the main thing is just to check the condition. What is the condition that the pairs, that is X and Y
Yeah,
at any iteration, they should have same part of speech and same letter count. So check the option. First
yeah, if
option
it
is
is
checking. X dot part of
it is
speech is equal
verb,
to
this is
equal to. So A is set to true here. Is A correct? Option A.
Yes.
Yes.
Is correct.
Looks correct. Okay. This is an MSQ, I think. Okay, let's see. Option B, or.
Or
Incorrect.
is not right.
We need and,
Yes.
right? So this is wrong. 3. A is
Is
set to
equal to
false.
false. This
Incorrect.
This is also incorrect. Last one. Or also
here
false.
also or is there, false.
So answer is A. This is a very simple question. Anyone didn't understand a doubt here?
Ma'am, in this case too, A should be set to false again within the outer loop, right? Because if the last time, if A is written as true, and if I'm going to the next one.
No. See, A should be set to true if there exists such a pair. So the first time I find such a pair, A should be set to true, and then it remains true. Okay,
Oh,
because I
and
just need to find one such pair.
first
okay,
pair
okay.
you'll find.
Okay. Okay, this is written as NAT, but I can see options. Okay, let's see. Surrounded, okay, this is a paragraph given. Now, the following pseudocode is executed using a dataset similar to Word's dataset based on the following paragraph. So this paragraph is our new dataset. Count is set to 0, flag is set to false. This is a very important question for quiz 1. Okay. So you run a while loop. Now inside that, now you will be using this while loop to iterate over all the cards or all the words in this particular paragraph. So you pick the first card, move it to table 2. Next you check if the first letter of X dot word, that is current card word, is equal to small s. Here it is case sensitive or not. Okay, let me see. Assume that uppercase and lowercase are ignored. Okay, it is not case sensitive. So capital, small doesn't matter. If the first letter is S and flag, means flag has to be what?
True.
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 Only then I can enter the second if, which is checking if the second letter of the word is U. If both these conditions are true, then count is incremented. Okay, this is the end of the if block. Next, there is a third if. If X word ends with full stop, then flag is set to true. So initially flag is false. Okay. So if flag is false, when is the only time that flag is getting set to true?
After the
After
first
a
full stop.
sentence.
The
After the
sentence is
first
ending
sentence.
with the full stop. After the first
Tell me
sentence.
one thing. In the first sentence, will I be able to check, increment the count for any of the words?
No, ma'am.
Until I
No.
reach
No.
the last word. Because here now flag will be set to true, then I can have this execution. So in the next one, okay, after this, once flag is set to true, can flag be set to false again?
No.
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 No, ma'am.
There is no flag false reset. So after this flag remains true, so we can just now check the words which satisfy these two conditions. First letter is S and second letter is U, and flag will remain true from now on. So first letter S, second letter U, suggest is one such word. Sustenance is one such word. Surely is one such word. Anything else? Sunrise.
Sunrise.
So this should have 4, right? Count should be incremented 4 times.
Surrounded.
Surrounded, where is that? No, in the first sentence you cannot add anything, right? Because the flag is initially false. You'll only be able to set flag to true at the end of the sentence. That is, X word ends with a full stop. So at the end of first sentence, your flag becomes true. Then from the second sentence, you can start counting. Because without flag value true, we cannot enter the if. So count should be 4.
So, ma'am, the this suggest word would be not be counted, right? The count does not get incremented.
Yeah, suggest will be counted, no? This is in the second sentence. Now flag is true.
Oh, it doesn't get false after the executing bird.
That's what I asked you when I asked that will flag ever get false again after it is set to true? Is there, can you see any flag reinitialization to false inside the while loop? No, right?
Ma'am,
No.
what line 11 will
Sorry?
Ma'am, can you emphasize on this flag starting with false and we are omitting the first total sentence and the
Yeah,
flag is
because
assigning this true? Could
as
you
long
please
as flag,
emphasize?
look, initially flag is false, correct?
Yes.
In the first sentence, if flag is false, will I be able to enter the first if block for any of the words if flag is false? Because here I need the flag. I can only execute it if flag is true, but flag is false, right, initially. When will flag be set to true again? If X word ends with a full stop, that means when I reach the end, last word of this sentence, that is birds, here flag will be set to true. So I cannot increment the count for any of the words in the first sentence, right? Because flag is false. So you cannot check any of the if blocks. Only in the second statement you can start again because now flag has been set to true and flag will not be set to false again because inside the while loop there is no reinitialization of flag to false. Only flag is set to true at the end of every sentence.
We are not at all initiating the first sentence, then how the flag is becoming true, then how the program
Flag
is
will
getting
become true, no?
executed.
Aren't you checking for every word? You're checking. Surrounded for first word. Am I not checking in the while loop? Is the first letter
Yeah,
S?
that's why
But
we are
flag
asking.
is, yeah, but this if will also execute if it ends with a full stop. So this if will become true for the last words, birds. Now flag is set to true. Next you go for the words in the second sentence, rustling, in, trees. Now when you come to suggest, now flag is true, first letter is S, second letter is U, so count is incremented. Got it? Anyone who did not understand?
Yeah, the first part is having doubt, ma'am. Like the surrounded by nature. Are we checking that sentence or we are not checking that sentence?
Of course you're checking that sentence. Did I say anywhere that you are not checking the sentence? I said that you are not going to increment the count. Why? Because flag is false. If flag is false, will you be able to enter the if block in line
But
5?
any of the program we are executing as a pseudocode, the flag, the boolean is always false, most of the cases. Or we
Yeah,
are
so in
initializing
that
if it is
case,
continuous, count is 0. Here also the same we are taking, but why it is that exemption for this particular sentence?
I
It's
don't
for
think you're
you to
understanding.
understand the logic of
Yeah,
this
you
flag.
cannot
It's
compare
not
different
standard.
questions together, right? This is not a standard logic that we are using. This particular question is crafted with this logic. Understand again. Initially count
Yeah,
is
yeah,
0,
yeah.
flag is false. Okay. So while table 1 has more rows, inside this while loop, we are going through all of the words one by one in this paragraph. So when I go for this word, surrounded, this is the first word. At this point, flag is true or false?
Ma'am, at which word?
First word, surrounded. Is it true or
The
false?
flag is
Flag.
false.
Flag is
False.
false. So can I enter
False.
the if block? No.
No.
But I will still check this second if here in line 11, right? It is not nested. It is an outer if, individual if. It is also not a word that ends with a full stop. So this logic is same for all of the words in this sentence. Flag will remain false until I reach the last word. Right? For this word, the X word ends with full stop is correct. So flag is set to true. Understood? Up to this.
Ma'am, the last question we have solved in that the flag is executed inside the while loop so that we are able to uh, use initiate it to the false every time we go through that iteration.
There is no flag in the last question.
The last question, I mean the same question which we you have solved with the flag option.
See, first of all of you need to understand one thing. All questions are individual. The logics don't compare between any question, right? Where I use flag in what way is totally on me. Flag is not going to be executed in the same way in every question, right? Flag is just a Boolean variable. I can use it any way I want. You have to see where it is getting updated. Here, it is getting updated inside the while loop in only one condition. What is that condition? When the current word is ending with a full stop. So that word has to be present where? At the end of a sentence. So for the first sentence, will I be able to find any word for which flag is true? That's the question.
So it is starting with surrounded S and U. It is not, I mean, that
But
ending
flag
with
is
full stop.
false.
That's the reason. Yeah, flag is false.
So for all the words in this first sentence, flag will remain false, huh? Until you reach the last word. Here you set flag to true. So after that, you are going to come to the second sentence. Now, once flag is set to true, it will remain true for the rest of the paragraph because you cannot find the statement flag equals to false anywhere inside the while loop, right? Once flag is set to true, it remains true throughout the rest of the program. So now you can expect to, execute the logic that every time you find a word that starts with S and second letter is U, flag is also true. So you increment the count. So just count all such words from starting from the second sentence. Is it clear now? Okay. I don't know if it is clear to you, but I will continue then. Which of the following words will not be considered in the count? So in the count, which words am I considering? Suggest, sustenance, surely, sunrise. So check.
You have to select not one, so the ones from the first sentence.
Right. So surrounded is not there, Susan is not there. Why is it given only A? B also work. I think they've missed it. There's lots of mistakes in the paper. Wait. Both of these should be the answer. Surrounded and Susan. Only sustenance, suggest, and these two. Surely and sunrise. These are the words which are counted in the count variable. So it should be A and B. Okay. Now this one is again on your scores data set. There is a hypothesis that if a student performs well all over. So performing well here, what is the logic? That scores at least total of 180 marks. That means the score is a well overall score. Then he or she must have performed well in all the subjects individually, that is scored at least 60 in each subject. Okay. At the end of execution, track 2 is a procedure, is a variable, I'm sorry, which stores the fraction of students who satisfy the hypothesis. Choose the correct code fragment. So what is the fraction of students who have scored well overall is people who have scored at least 180. That means greater than equal to 180. And they must have also performed well in each of the individual subjects. That is, they should have scored at least 60 or greater than equal to 60 in each subject, PCM. And total should be greater than equal to 180. Okay, so we need to find this fraction of student. So at the end of execution, frac2 is a variable which stores the fraction of students who satisfy this criteria. Is the problem statement clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, clear, ma'am.
Now check. This is the procedure given. So count overall is 0. Count per subject is also 0. So while table 1 has more rows, you read the first row and you check first if condition is if the total is greater than equal to 80, which is our first criteria. If total is not greater than equal to 80, then we will not check any of the other conditions, right? We'll simply move the card to table and move on because the first criteria itself is not meeting. Now, if the total is greater than equal to 180, that is, they have performed well overall. Now I have to check that in individual subjects, they have also performed well or not. So that code has to be filled here. So what is that code? See the first option. If x dot physics is greater than equal to 60 and chemistry is greater than equal to 60 and maths is greater than equal to 60, then count per sub increases by 1 and count overall increases by 1. Is this correct? Should
No,
both the
ma'am.
counts increase here?
No.
Only this count should increase, right? That
Yes,
first
ma'am.
subject they have
Hello,
performed, but
ma'am.
this
Ma'am,
count,
I'm having a doubt.
yeah, yes, go on, ask. Who is this? Okay, I'll just continue then. So where do you think this count overall should increment? This should increment regardless, right? Whether they have performed well in each of the subjects.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
it should not matter that they have performed well in each of the subjects. So it should not increment here. This does not seem a correct option, but we will keep it open for now. B. If each of the subjects are greater than equal to 60, see both are joined by ands, right? So we are checking for all three. Then count for sub is incremented. Outside of this, the overall is incremented. Is this correct?
This is okay.
This is looking okay. Third option, this one. Here it is joined by
No,
or.
or is there?
Or is not working. We need all three subjects to perform well. So this is clearly wrong. Again, D, greater than equal to, okay, in all three. Count overall is
Maybe
getting
flip.
incremented. So this is wrong. It should come here. This should come outside. This is false. So which option is correct? B. B is the correct option. So what happens when count overall will capture what? Number of students who have performed overall well. That is greater than equal to 180. And count for sub will represent what? Number of students who have performed well in individual subjects also. Each individual subject, right? So fraction is what? Count for sub by count overall. This is storing the correct value now. Option B is correct. Any doubt here?
Ma'am, is it the last question of this
Yeah,
paper?
it is last. Yeah. Okay. Any doubts? Anyone?
No,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
Can you take a
the option one
brief
is not right because it duplicates the value, right?
assignment? One question is there.
Just one second. See, option A is not correct because count overall should not depend on each subject, individual subject performance, right? This should increment regardless of that. That is, count overall is representing students who have scored greater than equal to 180 overall. I don't care
But
about the
ma'am,
individual subject.
if a person have physics subject which is greater than I mean all three subjects whose marks are greater than 60, then automatically it's summed to 180, and which is the condition like, which
Yeah,
intended
that's what I'm
to
saying.
be
Na?
met.
Overall is going to capture all students who have scored greater than equal to 80. Count first sub is going to capture only those students who have individually scored greater than equal to 60 in each subject.
If individually they scored more than 60 in each subject, then automatically their total
Yeah, that is what I'm
marks
saying.
will.
Count overall is the greater set. And inside that, the smaller set is count for sub.
Oh, okay, got it.
Okay,
Ma'am,
that's why
can I
count
ask one
overall is
question?
incrementing outside. Yeah,
Ma'am, current paper, May, it's not current basically, May 2025, question number 13.
okay, let me open that one second. Set 1 or set 2?
Ma'am, I think they same.
No, sets are different. Okay, let me check. Wait. This. Is it this set?
Yes, ma'am, yes,
Question,
ma'am.
question 13, you said.
Question 13.
Okay, 13 is at the end, I think. This. This, right?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you go to the option? Ma'am, I can verify.
Hmm.
Yes, ma'am, this one, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here the following pseudocode is executed using words dataset. What will count represent at the end of execution? Okay. A is 0, max vowel ratio is 0. Both are 0. Right? There are two separate while loops here. One here, one here. They are not nested. Right? In the first while loop, what we are doing, this is words dataset. So we are going through all of the cards in the words dataset in the first while loop. You read every card, and in ratio, what are you storing? Sound vowel by letter count. Sound vowel procedure does what? Could you decode this part? What is sound vowels doing?
It count the vowels in a word.
Number of vowels in a word, right? So count vowels is
Yes.
returning number of vowels in a word. So ratio is storing what? Sound vowels by the total letter count. Okay, that's the ratio. If ratio is greater than max vowel ratio, then max vowel ratio is reassigned to the current ratio. That means at the end of execution of first while loop, max vowel ratio is storing what?
Yes, ma'am.
At the end of the first while loop, max vowel ratio is storing what?
The ratio between the count vowel and the letter count.
Yeah, for the word which has the maximum number of vowels.
Ma'am,
Yes,
yeah, it will take the maximum vowel ratio.
Okay, now understand something. If when does a ratio become greater?
If the numerator is having high value.
Right. If numerator is having high value, right? If the corresponding denominator is also increasing, then the ratio will remain the same, right? If both are same.
Yes, ma'am.
So we are trying to find the ratios for all of the words, the vowel to total letter count ratio for all the words. And in max vowel ratio, we'll store the highest ratio that we can find, right? That is maximum ratio of vowel to consonant in a word. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, after this first while loop has executed, come to line 11. Sound is a variable which is set to 0. Now, all of the cards, once first while loop is executed, all the cards are present in which table?
Table 2.
Table 2. So now we are going through table 2. So again, you go through all the cards. Read the first row X from table 2, go through all the cards and check if sound vowels by letter count. That is, again, we are forming the ratio only and checking if that ratio is equal to the max vowel ratio. And if
And
X
yes,
word
ma'am.
ends with a full stop, then count is incremented. That means this count is capturing what? All such words that have the max vowel ratio and are present at the end of a sentence,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So that is what count is calculating. So now, what is the question? What is count representing? So which option is correct? Number of sentences
Number of sentences with
that end with a word whose vowel to letter ratio equals the maximum that is found in the data set. Right? We will calculate the number of all such sentences where the last word is having the max vowel ratio. So option D is correct. Is it clear? Who
ma'am.
asked this?
Yes, ma'am. I'm asking, ma'am. Let me read
Yeah.
the other option.
Ma'am, week number 4, graded assignment, question number 5, ma'am.
Ma'am, why option not C?
No answer.
C is why not correct, ma'am?
Are we checking if there is exactly one word, number of sentences that contain exactly one word where the vowel to letter ratio equals the maximum found in the entire data set? No. A particular sentence might contain two such words, but one of the words has to be at the end of the sentence. Then only I'm counting that sentence.
So, ma'am, we are checking only the word that is at the
Yeah, that is the
end.
nested condition,
So we
right?
have
That
it.
word ends with a full stop. Right?
Ma'am, I'm saying कि we are checking only one word, na? Because it is at the end.
No,
It is saying.
it is saying
Ma'am,
number of sentences that contain exactly one word. A sentence might contain two such words which have the max vowel ratio,
yes,
but
ma'am. Ma'am, can you,
it will still not be counted if the last word is not that word.
Acha, it is not checking the last word, right, ma'am?
It is taking only the last word if X word ends with a full stop. So if the last word is containing max vowel ratio, only then we are counting. There might be
So,
any number of such max vowel ratio words in that sentence.
so ma'am, according to the code, we are checking the last word of the sentence, right, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah.
Last word. Okay, we are at least one word that has the highest. So, ma'am, can you scroll down to the option, please? Number of sentence where the last word has the lowest vowel to letter ratio. That's wrong. So number of sentence that end with a word who yes, ma'am. Okay, got it. Ma'am, I have one more question that is from PYQ, September 24, question 7. Ma'am. That's the last one.
Yeah, wait, let me Which time did you say?
Ma'am, September 24.
September
202.
24. It's one set. Okay, I'll open the first set to check.
Ma'am, I check on, but mostly all sets are similar.
No, wait, I don't think I have the first set here. Mm, This is the set, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Which question did you say?
Question 7, ma'am.
This
Yes,
this
ma'am.
question? Yeah. Okay. This is also from words dataset. At the end of execution, A captures the maximum letter count of a word which is not noun.
Yes, ma'am.
So choose the correct code fragment. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So you just have to find the maximum letter count of a word where the part of speech is not noun. So we are going to compare the words till we find the maximum one. Okay. That
Maximum
means
letter count.
here,
Yeah.
yeah. So first you're starting with A is 0, right? Which is fine because we're trying to find a maximum. So A has to start with 0. Now, while loop will run through all the cards in words dataset. So every time you see a card, which condition do you have to check? You have to see if the card is not a noun, right? The first option is saying part of speech noun and letter count greater than A. Is this correct?
No.
No, ma'am. That's a
So we
noun.
need to check for
Equal to
not
noun.
noun, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yeah, the
option B is
second
checking if
reason
it
is
is
not.
not noun and letter count is less than A. So if I check for less,
Minimum.
I won't get the maximum, right?
Is
So
also
this is
wrong.
also wrong. C is checking again for noun, it is wrong. Last one,
D.
not noun, greater than A. Then
I
A
think
is
this
updated.
is not the question because this is so easy.
Yeah.
Ma'am, could you
So
please check graded assignment, ma'am? Grade
yeah,
assignment 4,
which
Yes,
question?
ma'am.
question
Ma'am,
5.
sorry to ma'am interrupt, ma'am. Can you ma'am go to the second set? Maybe it is from question 7, and then I'm done. I just want hint,
Yeah.
ma'am. I don't want an explanation.
Okay, just
Second set.
let me quickly do this
Yeah.
one, then I will take the graded one.
Yes, ma'am.
Which
Question
set?
7. Ma'am.
That's right.
Yeah, ma'am. I think this is the one. Yes. A
This is the
capstone.
exact same question. Okay, it is just
What there is?
written in a different way. So
Can you
in the
scroll down?
earlier one,
What is the correct answer here?
A and
A
C.
and C. Okay, D is wrong. Can you
Yeah,
go up,
D is
ma'am?
wrong because you're checking for the lesser value
Minimum.
and
Yeah,
also
minimum.
equal to noun.
Yeah.
C is
C.
correct. Okay, let's
C.
check the question once. It is saying that which are the following pseudocodes? These all are executed on words dataset such that by the end of execution, A stores the maximum letter count of a word that is a noun. In this case, we are looking for the noun. Okay, previous case we are looking for not noun. This is a noun and maximum letter count. The first option is correct because
Correct.
part of
Yes, ma'am.
speech
It's correct.
noun.
It's correct.
Okay,
D.
Yes, ma'am.
and C is also B is wrong because letter count less than A. We are trying to find max, so it has to be greater. Third option is correct. It is just nested with the same conditions. And fourth one
Oh,
is wrong.
yeah, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I got it. I think there is a confusion. I got it, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, graded question from which week?
Graded question, fourth week, madam. Graded 5, madam. Question number 5.
And also, ma'am, the last question on that same assignment.
Wait, graded question week 4, question number 5,
Week
you're
4,
saying.
question number 5.
Just wait. Graded week 4 deadline is when?
It's
Is it
finished,
gone?
madam.
It is
22.
past, ma'am.
Okay.
22.
It's passed.
Okay. Right. Is it the question? You said 5, right? It is the one with the words data set and count.
No, madam, not the words data set. It is shopping bills, ma'am. Question number
Graded
5. The
question,
given
right? Graded question
yeah,
5.
graded. Week 4 graded assignment
I
4.
think
That
this is
is
the
5.
previous term. Okay, let me check for this time. I think the question has changed.
Shopping
It
bill
is
dataset.
25 P3 term. Right. Okay, 5 is the shopping bills one, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me share it. Okay, you can see.
Yes,
Visible?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, so it is saying the given pseudocode is executed using shopping bills. Track stores the ratio of number of customers who purchased both soap and face wash to the number of customers who purchased just face wash. And you have to, not just face wash, to the number of customers who purchased face wash. I don't know about the other
Yes.
thing. Right, so choose the correct code fragment to complete the pseudocode. Okay, I have done this type of questions in last class, but okay, let's do it. M count and B count. Okay, 2 counts I have. So while file 1 has more cards, so now I'll go through all the cards in shopping bills dataset and see here the code is missing, but there is something called an is item procedure, which is taking 2 parameters y and a. Right, now let's try to understand what I'm understanding from the is item procedure and what I'm understanding from frac. So what fraction do I want? The ratio of number of customers who purchased both soap and face wash to people who purchase face wash. That means B count should be what? People who purchase both, right? And M count should be what? People who purchase face wash, for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct. So now we know what B count and M count should represent. Now check the is item procedure. It takes some Y and some A. So look at the procedure. Initially P is false, while card Y has more items. That means Y is a card. We know that. Okay. So while card Y has more items, read an item Z from the item list of card Y and compare that item with some other item A. So A is some item. So if I find a match, then I'm having C set to true. Okay, now from here I can't decode much else. I understand that Y is a card, A is some item. Okay, so let's check the options. So first option is saying that I am checking is item. Okay. So is item procedure is basically giving what? It is giving true if the item matches with the parameter item. That means if I pass is item X comma face wash, when will it return true? If in X card the item face wash is present. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes.
So if it is correct, then M count is incremented. Again, I am asking, this is not nested, these are individual if blocks. Is item X comma soap. If soap is also present, then B count is incremented. But what did I tell you? M count should carry what? People who bought face wash. And B count should carry people who bought both soap and face wash. So in that case, will this work? First
No,
option?
ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
Second option, I'm checking if they purchase soap, then B count is incremented. If they purchased face wash also, because this is nested, then M count is incremented. But this is wrong. B count should be here in the place of M count, right?
Yes, yes.
And M count cannot capture the face wash number of people because that is not the outer if. So this is also wrong. This one, if you check, both are
Yeah.
incremented at the same time. This is clearly right. So this is the only last one left, so it has to be correct. Why it is correct? See, first I'm checking if the person has bought face wash. Then I am
Ma'am,
already
can you
incrementing M count.
can you go with the option C and explain over there, madam? Actually, I went into
Option
here.
C,
This is having face
option
wash and
C
as
is
well as
saying,
soap. Both have.
yeah, yeah. Then will you increment both M count and B count? In M count, I am only caring about people who have bought face wash. I don't care if they have soap or not. So M count doesn't need to be incremented here, right? There might be a card where there is face wash present but no soap. In that case, M count needs to be incremented, but it won't be incremented in this case. Here only B count should be incremented. No, the B count is capturing both people who bought both things.
Yes, yes.
So now this has to be the correct option, but what is the logic that first I'm checking if the card has face wash. Regardless of whether it has soap or not, I'm going to increment M count. Because M count is capturing number of people who bought face wash. Next, in the nested if, you're checking if the card also has soap. So if the card has both things, face wash and soap, then only B count is getting incremented. So this is the correct capture. M count having all people with face wash, B count having people with both face wash and soap. So D is correct option.
In
Ma'am,
the
can you
above
scroll
option,
little down so that
if there is or instead of and, is it correct? In the above option, instead of and,
No,
if
no,
we
no.
take or,
No. I think no. How is
any
it
of
correct?
that or both we can, no ma'am?
But see, in that case, if I have a card where there is just face wash present, in that case, both M count and B count are getting incremented. B count shouldn't be.
If it is or, if it is
Yeah, if it
or.
is or. If it is or, then any one of the options has to be true, right? Either face wash or soap. For that also it
There
is
is
true.
only soap, that also will get an increment
Yeah. Any
without
one of
face
them
wash.
individually will also give true value. So B count is getting incremented, which it shouldn't.
option B
Ma'am, the
is also
last
correct, right?
question
Ma'am,
on this
question number 10.
assignment. Yes, ma'am.
B would be also right.
Why? But now I won't explain. You tell me why you think B is correct.
Because if the item is soap, B count is incremented, and if item is face wash, M count is also incremented, and that is also in the case in the option 4. We are doing the same thing.
So option B and option D are same, you're saying.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So in M count in option B, the only condition that has to be true is that face wash is present in the item list. Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
If soap is present in the B count, then we are incrementing the B count, and if face wash is there, and we are incrementing M count.
It is
So
nested. It will check
in
both
the
conditions over there.
no, I think they haven't even seen this part that B count and M count are supposed to capture what? What is the
Ratio.
ratio? What is that ratio? Customers who purchased both, two
Both
customers who
versus
purchased
only
face
face
wash.
wash. Yeah.
So B count
Both
should
versus
only
one.
increment when both items are purchased. So in option
Yes.
B, even if only soap is purchased, still B count is getting incremented. Is it correct?
As per the requirement, it is wrong, but it is here. It is increasing. Then it is
It is
not the right
not
option.
correct. It is not correct. Who was asking? Who's the girl? Did you understand?
Yeah, I understand, but ma'am, option 4 is also the same thing, right?
Is it same? Here I am checking first. It is nested if. The inner if will only execute if the outer if is correct. Right? So in option D, first I'm checking if the list contains face wash. Then M count is incremented, which is correct. M count should only capture people who bought face wash. I don't care if they bought soap or not. So if they bought face wash, then M count is getting incremented. Next, I'm checking that, okay, they have bought face wash. Have they also bought soap? If yes, then B count is incremented. If they have bought both. So this is what I'm trying to capture, right?
Here,
These
the
two are
if plays a
completely
vital
different
role. We
options.
have to check for the if. We have to know
Yeah,
the
like
first
what, which
significance of that if.
condition? Which condition is being checked first? That's why I first told you what is the ratio calculating. First understand that. What should be numerator, what should be denominator. Is it clear now?
So because ma'am, the 4th is nested if we are, it is the right option.
Both are nested if. B is also nested, D is also nested. But which condition is being checked first? We need to capture in M count people who bought face wash, regardless of whether they bought soap or not. Right. So that is only
The
happening in
common
option D.
item is outside and the separate item is inside. That's how
Yeah.
you need to check. Because in both face wash is there, so face wash is first and then soap comes.
Understood. I hope now it is
Okay,
clear.
got it. Yeah, got it.
Ma'am, the
Yeah,
last question of this.
this one.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I understood the code and everything. So
Hmm.
I just have like doubt on this answer. I mean, it is the third option will be the answer.
It is given number of words before the first adverb or full stop in every sentence. Yeah, third is given as the answer.
Yes, ma'am. So, it, like, should not it be mentioned over here that or full stop in every sentence if that sentence doesn't contain any adverb? Should not it be present there?
No, these are two separate conditions, right? Number of
Yes,
words
ma'am.
that are words before the first adverb, that is one condition. In every
Mm-hmm.
sentence, number of words before adverb or full stop means that inherently that if there is no adverb, then only the or question comes. That if there is no adverb, then just go for every word before full stop.
But won't it be taken into the
No, this
count
is
of
not
all?
ambiguous. See, both are
Okay.
separated by an or. First condition is that if there is an adverb, then count the words before that adverb.
Okay.
Second or condition is full stop. That means
But
everything
in
before.
okay, ma'am. But in or the order doesn't matter, right?
No.
Like
Actually, see what is. I understand your question here, but
yes, ma'am.
this or is not the logical or. This is just English or.
Okay.
Okay. Since we are so used to using logical or, so that's why you're getting confused. This is just English or. This simply means one or the other, not both.
Okay.
Okay, but
Okay.
in logical or, both is there.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. I
When
mean,
this
it
code is
seems
same as
like
the
this
paragraph code.
this adverb thing is a kind of
Hmm.
subset of this full stop in every
No.
sentence. So I
That is
thought it
because
will
of.
be
Yeah,
okay.
understood.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, in the
In
above
quiz
soap and
also, if this kind of
soap and
confusion will happen, like what should we
No.
do?
See, just keep one thing in mind. Whatever is in the option. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Option
Okay.
is English or, and in the
Okay.
code you apply the logical or.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
ma'am, in the above soap and face wash case, if you consider it as like two items A and B, A and B are B and A, one and the same, no, madam. If they are buying the both items, we have to check. First, we can check A plus B or B plus A also. Like that, if instead of
Wait.
checking A
I do
plus
not
B,
understand. A and B is what?
yeah, instead of face wash and soap, we can consider two items as A and B. We want to
Right.
check. We want to check A and B are the same, or B and A also one and the same, no, ma'am.
Is that what I'm checking? I am checking whether a person has bought just A, regardless of whether they have bought B or not. And second case, I'm checking if the person has bought both A and B.
Yeah, both A and B or B and A, one and the
Yeah,
same,
that
no?
is same. Yeah.
Yeah, in that case, the option what that girl is telling is also in the if same, first checking
No.
with the soap, next with the face wash.
This is what I'm trying to make you understand for the like since I have started this question. What is the bottom half of the fraction? M count. What is given in the question? Ratio of number of customers who purchase soap and face wash. That is B count to the number of customers who purchase face wash. So the M count is for people who
M count
purchase
is
face
smaller.
wash.
Yeah.
It is the bigger set. Okay. That means they have purchased face wash. They might or might not have purchased soap. So this is that single condition. When you come to B count, that is both the conditions. That is the smaller set, that face wash and soap. Both have to be present. So we have to start checking with face wash. That is the first thing. So here you increment M count. In her option, here if I increment M count is storing people who bought both soap and face wash. This is not correct. Just focus on
Yeah.
what is the question asking. That is
Yes,
what
ma'am.
should be in the numerator, what should be in the denominator. This question is very
Right.
important for quiz one. Okay, it has come multiple times. There is also another
Yes, ma'am.
variation with milk and bread. There is also the same thing.
Got it, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. So this is the last. When is your quiz one? Tomorrow?
26th, day after tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow. Okay, you still have one day. Okay, prepare well. All the best for your exam. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
बच्चे लोग अब खाना
সকালে ঢুকলে এক ক্লাস চলে যায়